Today's story is titled, Am I the Asshole for Ending a Friendship Over Several Issues, including her implying that I want to bone my brother? Okay, so I, 18F, and my best friend, May, 18F, fake name, recently ended a friendship with her roommate, Raven, 19F, fake name. May and I had been having problems with Raven independently for a few months before discussing it back in February. My issues began with her in November when she decided that she was going to live with her boyfriend, 19M, May's boyfriend, 19M, and my boyfriend, 19M. We had previously agreed the girls were gonna live in one place and the boys in the other, out. Of the blue, Raven's boyfriend had texted the boys' chat to let them know that Raven was planning to live with them instead. At the time, May and I were with our boyfriends and saw the message. She proceeded to lie to May and me for 2 weeks. We decided to let it slide. Then in late December, when at a Macy's while May was on a cruise, Raven said in front of both our BFs and another friend, she accused me of having been intoxicated the last time we were there. This made me very confused as I knew that I was sober. I then called May's BF and he confirmed I'd been sober. She also accused May of overindulging frequently, but only two in front of May's BF. Another big thing was she wanted to go to the pool with May, May's BF and my BF, henceforth called Zach. She specifically asked May to reach out as she claimed I would be less upset by May inviting Zach. May's issues came to a head in January. Raven had been flirting with May's boyfriend, who we will call DJ, pretty frequently. To keep it brief, we'll only address the bigger instances. She had switched an entire outfit to match him, and then asked people to spot the difference. Was overly touchy, something she doesn't do to anyone else, including her own boyfriend. Constantly getting centimeters from his face and always in his personal space, to the point he was uncomfortable. She also accused DJ of abusing May when May sprained her wrist. Another issue was her temper. Raven would frequently be upset by us getting along with her friends. She also accused May of stealing me from her at the beginning of my and May's friendship. During her outbursts, she would scream at us that we were a-holes, horrible people. And why do you hate me? You never invite me to hang out. When we would comfort her or say we didn't hate her, she'd switch to hysterical crying, begging us to not be mad, saying she didn't mean any of it, and she's just sensitive. We frequently invited her to hang out. She would often forget day of, refuse, take a shift day of, or claim we were boring then leave. And to be fair, we did occasionally hang out without her. But also I would hang out with Raven one-on-one, and Raven and May would hang out one-on-one as well. Another issue that came up was when she went shopping with Zach and DJ. At this point, the boys were still planning to live with Raven, and I was trying to get adjusted to the idea of it. I had offered to Zach that he and DJ invite Raven to Costco. While at Costco, she sent May and I a reel saying, if they shop together, they're doing it raw, which in combination with everything is very odd. All of this behavior was adding up and making things very tense. May and I decided to sit her down and have chat with her to try and put it all to rest and come to a resolution. Raven was not pleased with this. She got incredibly defensive and yelled frequently. She called us fake friends and horrible people. She said that she didn't know why we hated her, even though we didn't. She said we had done things, were doing things that made her uncomfortable, but when asked, refused to give examples. She then tried to backtrack and say her PTSD makes her not know what's real and what's not. She also proceeded to deny liking our boyfriends and calling them hideous, disgusting monster. She focused the heaviest on DJ. We never accused her of being in love with them, just some flirting. She also told us of her hierarchy of friends, main characters, May and I, side characters, DJ, then her BF, extras, one friend and then Zach. She also said she was never invested in our friendships, Moyar with May, over Sixmos with me. She also tried to ruin my and May's friendship by throwing out a conversation we'd had about May and DJ's relationship. A few days later, she reached out to May, and over the course of around 3 hours, she demanded an apology, continued with the, I'm not in love with your stupid BF, he's gross BS, and reiterating that May is a horrible person who refusing to apologize. She talked in circles over and over for the entire time. That same night, after they wrapped up that convo, she reached, out to inform me we were no longer friends and telling me that she... The next story is titled, Am I the asshole for being uncomfortable with my BF looking, hiding his spicy model obsession? Me, female 20, and my boyfriend, male 20, have been together going on 4 years now. Our relationship has had your usual ups and downs. I myself have been unloyal. During the early stages of our relationship, I was 17 at the time. And that's no excuse. Although it was all over the phone and nothing physical, it's still wrong, so I completely take responsibility for that. However, my BF has been filling his social media apps with women in the spicy content industry since 2023. I keep finding it in his Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. While I understand men have needs as well as women, I fill my desires from him. He also does it multiple times a day, like consistently throughout the day. It's not just every once in a while, it's all the time when he's not with me. He also hides it, deletes his search history, makes different emails etc. I've expressed how this negatively affects my self-esteem and how uncomfortable it makes me. He is always very sympathetic and will stop for periods of times. Then I get a gut feeling something is up, and I always find it somewhere on his phone. I've gone the extra step to send him explicit photos throughout the week to try and curb the urges he has, but it obviously doesn't work. This has made me feel so awful about myself and my appearance. Am I the asshole for feeling this way? The next story is titled, Am I the asshole if I acted on my feels? So I am a 32 female, and I am currently trying to sell my house that I reside with my ex-husband, 33 male, and our 3 kids, so I can finally be on my own. I have no outside help, or temporary places to stay till then. For context, he was controlling, emotionally abusive, and narcissistic. He cheated on me 5x emotionally over the last 3 years, and I've been in therapy for 3 years as well. I do love him, but I have been staying, and due to hard times financially over the years. I went back to school and graduated this year, so I can support my kids and myself independently. Anyways, X sleeps on the couch for months now, and I sleep in the bedroom. He has tried being intimate, and I am not about it. I've been emotionally checked out since he cheated the first time. Just over the last 6 months, divorce and separation have been set. On to present day, I met someone by accident. We've been talking for a couple months and been in a few dates, and he is so sweet and genuine. Everyone keeps telling me I'm not him ready and not date anyone. Which I do agree in a sense, but I really like this guy and don't want to just cut him off and let my ex ruin another thing in my life that's good for me. Is this wrong? Should I not give this amazing guy a chance just cause of the too soon cliché? BTW. The guy is 38 and also isn't fully divorced, but has been separated from their spouse for 2 years. He is so patient and understanding, and we've both been 100% transparent in both of our situations. What should I do? And the final story is titled, Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's parents they need to pay for the paternity test? My partner, 27 male, and I, 31 female, broke up and then got together again several months later. Before we separated, his parents had gone out of their way to buy a house for us to rent from them as a couple. A few months after he and I got back together, something he kept secret from them due to them making him promise he wouldn't let anyone move in or allow any cats in the house again. I got pregnant with his child. Once his parents found out that we were seeing each other again and there was a baby involved, they told him that I was not allowed to move back in. During a meeting at dinner, they said that they wanted us to complete a paternity test. I told them that I understood why they would want that, but that my insurance didn't cover it because it's not a medical necessity and that I couldn't afford it. So if it was something that they wanted, then they would need to pay for it. Because I already know who the father is and I'm not paying over $1,000 out of pocket for a test I know the answer to. Later, I messaged my BF's mom with a link to a test with a discounted sale price of $300. She responded that if that was for prenatal, then that was a great deal, and that she would probably call them the next day for more information. The next day, I reached out to her to see if she had learned anything and got no response. The following day, I asked again and got no response. The day after that, I apologized for being a pest if she was busy and asked again and still got nothing but silence. So I dropped it and just let it go. Now my BF tells me that his parents are angry at me for demanding that they pay for the test, and then asking if they'd made any progress on getting one scheduled. He agrees with them that I was wrong to do so. I don't think I am, because I feel like they're the ones who want it, and don't see why they would have expected to tell us to get one and have us pay for it, but apparently that dynamic is normal between them and his family. Eyaita?